Yeah, for sure. But let's start at the beginning. Did anything stand out to you from like the first bit?
I mean, so what happens at the beginning? The prince is already betrothed to a maiden, so it's almost like close to the end of many other stories. You know, the marriage is about to happen, but then he has to go away. So then the action starts, and his father is dying. Um, I mean, one of the first thing I notice is that's just seemingly in some ways, especially with the king dying, that's like different for me than than how most fairy tales seem to start. You know, that
Hmm.
there's often a dead parent; they're already dead at the beginning, or at the end, there's like going to be a marriage. But here, it's the beginning's a little different.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that is interesting. I hadn't really thought of that specific element of it because it does sort of start with them in a kind of happily ever after position of like, oh, the
Yeah,
prince and his fiance are in love and they're together and then this happens.
yeah.
I thought it was interesting that there's two fathers in the story. There's the prince's father, the king, who's sick, and there's the fiance's father, who seems very caring and very interested in his daughter's well-being.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know if you have the father standing in like the figure, the symbol of the father,
Mm.
standing in for like a social order, like the
Mm.
like patriarchy in the non-negative sense, just the base definition of the word of like the
Hmm.
the male social structure.
Hmm.
Um, I thought that was
Both of
kind of
those are
interesting.
kings. So
Yeah. Oh,
both
yeah.
the
That's right.
fathers are kings. So yeah.
That's right. That's right. I forgot the second one was also a king, which would give us two princesses as well. Um,
Yeah.
two sort of noble women.
Mm.
Um, and I also like towards the end at some point, which maybe when we get there we can go into it in more detail, but they describe one of them as the true bride,
Mm.
and I feel like that's sort of, I don't know, it feels to me like it's letting the veil slip, like this the story like the it's putting the theme very much to the forefront instead of holding it kind of behind the scenery
Hmm.
of um the prince being confused by his father's need, the sort of social needs, and losing his connection to some truth in him.
Hmm.
Like, if she's the true bride, then she's representative of something true,
Mm.
as opposed to this sort of other one, which would have to be the false bride.
Mm.
And I don't know, I think the father, the ill father, telling his son, you have to choose. You marry. Please promise me you'll marry the woman that I choose for you. Um, just on a everyday level, like how come the father didn't know his son was already betrothed to this other princess whom he was in love with? Like, why is the
Mm.
father making this demand?
Mm.
But if you look at it on a more like poetic, symbolic level, you have a father, a sick father, so a sick social order,
Mm.
um, a sort of if you map that onto like at least normal people's present day experiences, like the need to choose a woman that matches a checklist of who the ideal partner is supposed to be instead of the person
Mm.
you're truly drawn to, even if
Hmm.
they don't necessarily meet your like standards of like she needs to be this tall and this good
Hmm.
looking and these measurements and this much money and if I
Hmm.
have all of these specific things, if she meets all my check marks, then she will make me happy
Mm.
you know so because that's a very masculine way to go about relating.
Mm.
It's a list, you form it ahead of time, it's got
Mm.
steps, you check them all off, like it's a very
Mm.
like you go and you do a thing and you make sure it's done and then that will ensure success.
Mm.
Whereas in relational realities, it's much more like how do you feel with the person? Is
Mm.
there a love there? Is there um are you with them and you're not even sure why? Like, oh, I love this person and I know she has all these flaws, but I'm drawn to her. And not like flaws like because that could also be kind of taken poorly, but just like human flaws, like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
she's not the perfect height. She's not perfectly as wealthy as I would love my partner to be, but I'm still drawn
Mm-hmm.
to her for some reason. There's some resonance in my heart with this person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I feel like that's at least one way to take this initial thing. It reminded me of I was watching the Muppets Christmas Carol over the holidays, and you have Michael Caine as Scrooge. When he goes back in time with the ghosts of Christmas past, you see him as a youth working for his boss, and his boss is very profligate. He's throwing this big Christmas party, and Scrooge meets, the young Ebenezer meets a woman there, and they have this attraction, they have this draw to each other. And then the next scene in the movie is, and I don't know if this is from the book. I should probably reread the book, but in any case, it's for sure in the movie. The
Mm-hmm.
next scene in the movie, she's saying, Ebenezer, why can't we be married? And he says,
Mm-hmm.
oh, well, I need, like, the business is just starting to do well. I need to make some more money. I need to, like, make sure we have the security, and then once that, then we can get married. And obviously, as I think everybody knows, Ebenezer is not married, and so that she breaks up with him. She's like, I can't keep waiting for you to have the perfect conditions for us to be together. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're looking at something similar here with the sick king father and the son, that
Mm-hmm.
there's some sort of a, even if it's just like, you can map it on, like, oh, in my head, like, my dad or my mom or the way I'm supposed to be would never allow me to be with this type of woman. I
Mm-hmm.
need somebody who's better, or I'm not ready to be emotionally open with anybody. I need something, figure, like with the Scrooge story. I need enough money to make sure it's safe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that was just sort of how I took that beginning part, sort of the thing that steers the prince off of the true path, and then I don't know, and then it kind of goes from there. But would if you got anything to say?
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking along those same. Please like and subscribe for more of our open minded content and comment below on your thoughts or questions about the story. Let us know if you'd like us to cover another stimulating story, and thank you for participating.